Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in this Monday night, and got a lot of cool stuff to talk to you about. And tonight's going to be our subject going to be the yes law of healing. And like I said before in previous Monday nights, these at least right now these presentations are inspired by the book The Dynamic Laws of Healing by Catherine Ponder. With some of my own twist and my own stories in it. So last week I did the law of release, and the week before that I did the law of forgiveness, and I've previously done the law of no. So we'll talk about that here throughout the night tonight. So I'm going to bring up the presentation I have here on the stream. So let's go ahead and bring this up, and then we will start getting into our presentation. So like I mentioned, it's the yes law of healing. And so one of the things that I've been going through personally over the last year is I've been looking at the what we do in our own minds and thoughts. And so a lot of times we're very critical of ourselves. We're constantly saying no to what we don't want to have. We're like, no, I don't want to do that. And so that energy of no is very much a stopping of energy. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight as well. So but let's just kind of go into our next slide. And this actually was given to me by a friend of mine. So it's actually not from Catherine Ponder's book, but I thought it was really a powerful statement. And it basically says that decide what kind of life you actually want, then say no to everything else that isn't that. Meaning we spend a lot of time basically focusing in on things that we don't want. Our thoughts are, I'll give you an example. This is a personal example of mine, is that I've always worked on my career, so to speak. And most people know that I'm a corporate trainer, or I've been a training manager of some kind for over, almost getting close to 23, 24 years. And so one of the things that I think about is because that's just been a part of my life for so long, I can manifest jobs just like this, and it's very easy to me. And with that being said, I'm wanting to transition more into my spiritual work and do that full time and travel and that kind of stuff. And so I do quite a bit of traveling with my spiritual work. And with that being said, I'm wanting to transition to make that my source of income. And so one of the things that, because of the program that runs in me, because of out of habit, a lot of these things come up in our mind out of habit, is that as I'm working towards something, there's always I can always get another job. I can always do this because I've been doing this for a long time. And that's a duh moment. Of course you can. And with that being said, thoughts create. And so, and in my last episode, I talked about that whatever is of our divine plan, we can't lose. So those of course you can get another job. And with that being said, that's not what we're trying to manifest here. And so you want to decide what kind of life you actually want, and then say no to everything that isn't that. It's not saying I'm going to go out and quit my job today and be irresponsible and not pay my bills. It's saying that put your thoughts and your frequency into what you want and put your efforts into that. And then as energy and attraction, a law of attraction and all that kind of stuff goes in, you still focus in on the now, the moment. You still pay your bills because you're grounded into reality. You still do your work at work and your efforts beyond that, and you're grateful for what you're doing. That's the other key thing, is you have to be grateful for what you have in the now moment, because if you go into this anger and upset and all that kind of stuff, then, and especially sustained emotions like that, that prevents you from manifesting at the optimal level that you want. So because then your energy is always into anger, upset, sadness, all that good stuff. And so these are just things that we want to start thinking about. And so, but with that being said, you start putting your effort and you say no. So when your mind goes into, and the other thing is that as I'm at jobs, always looking to be promoted and working hard and putting a lot of energy into that, and that's fine that you get promotions, except if that's not what your optimal area that you want to be in, and you want to manifest something else, you want to say, whatever is of my divine plan, and I want to be in my divine path. So you don't want to be sitting there trying to force reality. We want to be in the flow of the essence of spirit in the universe. So that's a different thing. But with that being said, when you're doing this, decide what kind of life you actually want. So one of the things that I always say my divine plan is manifesting right now, and I want to be in alignment with my soul and in my highest and best good. And make it easy. I'm tired of all the hard lessons. And then I say no. As I'm saying no, that's saying no to, hey, no, that's not the direction I want to go into, because we have to tell the universe where we want to go. So we say yes to where we want to go, no to where we don't want to go. And it's really just as simple as that. But we make this super challenging at times because we get caught up in all these programs or these ideas and habits that we've had throughout our life, and then that prevents us from having that enjoyable, enriched life that we always wanted. So decide the kind of life that you want to have, or what kind of life you actually want, and then say no to everything that isn't that. So you keep going forward. So basically this is about writing your own story, so to speak. So then there's this ping pong of energy. And one of the things I just talked about this last night at a church I spoke at, and one of the things that really struck me in the moment, as I was kind of in the moment of speaking, is that, this last year, and I'm sure you guys have all felt this, there's this ping pong of energy. And it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, it can be about, what's going on in the state of the world, all that other kind of stuff. But what I'm really getting at here in this thought process is that we'll tell people about things that we want to do. We'll tell people about our own ideas, our own opinions, that, how we believe in things, and they'll get really they'll disagree with us, and then their energy will be in, like, if you could tell somebody about, hey, I want to be able to manifest this into my life, I want to be able to do something, and I want to be able to manifest this particular house. And I'm actually thinking about one in particular because I saw this house in the last 24 hours, and I'm like, yes, that's the house. Because it's one of those things that when people ask me, well, if you were to manifest a house or move into a house, I don't really have, it's one of those things where, to me, it has to be unique. And I hadn't really found one that I found that was unique until in the last 24 hours. And so it's one of those things that if I was to tell people the price tag on it, people will be like, oh yeah, keep dreaming, Jer. And with that being said, here's the thing. We have to play with this a little bit. And then what we say is that or better. And so what we do is we start telling the universe what we want. And so this particular piece of property has a guest house and a swimming pool, and the actual main house you have to walk across, and it's on a small little island that is not far from the Gulf of Mexico. It's basically on an island in a river. And so I thought it was just like the coolest thing because, it's got all this land that I could build retreats on and all that other kind of stuff. And so why I'm telling you that story is that, maybe the $1.4 million price tag, is something that I can't do right now, but we don't know what the future lies. We don't know what opportunities come in. Somebody could come in and say, I would love for you to do that, make that a retreat center, and I would love to help you finance that. I would love to make that happen. That's the problem. And what happens with our manifestation and our manifestation energy is we automatically allow doubt to sink into our head. And because we get caught up in reality. Yes, reality is that I can't afford that with my current salary and money coming in. And that's not what you manifest with. You don't manifest with it. You manifest with your imagination, and you look at that, you see yourself in it, you feel yourself in that. You see yourself walking around, teaching retreats, swimming in the swimming pool, all that kind of stuff. And then you say, that or better. Because maybe that's not the house that would make me the happiest. Maybe it's somewhere else. Maybe it's something that's similar to that, and that just basically has some of the demographics that I actually like. And those are the things and you say yes, yes, yes. Because if it's not of my divine plan, then I'm not going to bring it in anyways. And if it is of my divine plan, I won't be able to help myself. It will happen no matter what. That's the key thing. There's a higher authority than this physical realm and all the physical things. So we have to keep our doubt energy out. And then we play like we make it childlike and we enjoy it. And so then we start looking at that and we say, ooh, That's really cool. And so other things have happened recently where I've been saying yes because traveling is one of my favorite things. And so if you watched my show last week with Donna Campbell, you will know that we talked about a retreat that we're going to be doing together in Belize in November. Dates haven't been set. We're still working out all the details, but there will be a retreat in Belize, and we'll be going to the Mayan ruins, and so in Belize. So that's going to be on the docket in Machu Picchu in 2023. Now, why is that really cool? Because about a week and a half ago, a friend of mine is a travel agent, and she's been doing excursions all over the world. And she just happened to post that she was in Machu Picchu that day. And basically, what was she was on Zoom with a travel or tour guide on camera in Zoom. So she said, "Can you come in at a meeting in about 6 minutes?" Because I messaged her and said I've been wanting to do Machu Picchu with a group of people. And she said, "Can you come to a meeting in 6 minutes?" Well, I ended up, because I've been saying yes. This is the key thing. I've been saying yes. She said she took me on with the tour guide, and they showed me around Machu Picchu. So live on Machu Picchu on a Zoom call. And then they started answering a lot of my questions. So this is pretty incredible. And this is how the energy works. So this is what's saying, the universe is saying the opportunities are there. You just have to start saying yes, and they line up. And it's things that you go, I couldn't make this stuff up. And those are the things that you have to start looking at. Now, what's happened over the last year is there's been all this stuff, like, you know, all these arguments over politics and over the coronavirus and over other things and over the vaccines and all that other kind of stuff. And the truth is all that energy does is bog your energy down, and it keeps you from manifesting the world that you want. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't study or understand things and know the truth or whatever that truth is for your study. It doesn't mean that. But what I found is that everybody's opinions, because they're so strongly stating their opinions, was literally creating a ping pong effect with my energy. That's what's going to affect us, because that is what is called duality mind manipulation. That is a duality mind manipulation. It's divide and conquer. And so when you're caught up in that, then your energy is not in flow. It's just like ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. So how do you change that? You say what yes to what serves you, and no to what doesn't. So what serves you? Your soul, higher consciousness. So you start saying, my divine plan is manifesting right now. And you say, and whatever it is not of my divine plan, I release it. So this is, you use the law of release in this to let go of what no longer serves you and holds you back. This is what I talked about last week in my video last week, the law of release. And so, and you can start saying in your meditation, you start saying, I release what is not of my divine plan, and I allow those souls, experience, and ideas to go. I free them, I lose them, and allow my soul to be free and others to be free. So, because remember, when you allow other souls to be free, you not only free them to go off where they need to go, but you free yourself, and you allow your energy to go into flow so that you can what? Experience life to the fullest at the optimal level based on where your soul, where your soul is. And this is what happens is we get all tied up in, oh, wait a second, no, maybe they're right. Oh, that's why did they believe what I believe? And how dare they disagree with me, and all this other kind of stuff. And that's that ping pong energy when you got to be careful of that. And so ping pong energy is something that we need to have some discernment about. And so then, just kind of going on in our presentation here is, saying yes takes you on an amazing journey. So this is the key thing. I've been following this group called Yes Theory. I would recommend you find them on YouTube, watch them. So they're incredible young men that have built their life just on saying yes. So saying yes takes you on an amazing journey. Far too often our mind is saying what we do not want and focusing on things that we have upset us or have hurt us. We're constantly in this mindset of they did that to me, or this person broke up with me, or that job did me wrong, or that person did me wrong, and all that other kind of stuff. And we're focusing on all of these things when our energy, we need to release all that and allow ourselves, use the law of release so that we can start saying yes to what our soul is asking us to do. And so, or put ourselves in alignment with our soul so we can live at our optimal level with our soul. So try focusing your attention on the tasks and thoughts that are in the direction you want to go, then say yes to the opportunities that are heading in that direction. And see, far too often I work with people and I see them and they literally say no. It's okay to say no. Like I mentioned at the beginning, you say no to the areas that you don't want, and then you focus on the things that you do want. And, with that being said, remember, we have to be grounded. We have to be able to pay our bills. We have to be able to eat, and we all have to have a roof over our head, all that kind of stuff. So that's why I'd still work as a trainer during the day. And that's one of the things that you have to do. So it's kind of this balance. Remember, balance. We have to work in a grounded state, and we have to be connected to source and allow that to replenish us, and then be grounded to the earth and balanced within our energy. So like I said, try focusing on the tasks and thoughts that are in the direction you want to go, and then say yes to the opportunities. So I've had these meetings about having these retreats. Now, the other meeting I had yesterday is going to Spain and teaching a retreat in Spain in September of 2022. So all these things are coming together. And it's because I started to say, I am ready to start traveling, and I let go and release all that prevents me from doing that. And so ideas that have come in that I never even thought of doing before that could allow me to do that. And that's the one thing that happens when you release and you start saying yes, more opportunities and ideas come in that maybe you wouldn't have seen, so you didn't think it was even possible. And these are kind of the things you have to be mindful of, because especially when it comes around finances to make it happen, ideas came in, and I was like, never even thought of that. And some of it was ideas of people I'm working with, and some of it was ideas I have. And those are just things that you have to start looking at, because you have to allow those opportunities to flow in and those ideas to flow in, so that things start coming together. And that's how our cruise came together. That's how many other things and projects I've done have come together. And it's very much like a journey. And that's why this says saying yes takes you on an amazing journey. And so start saying yes to your life and your soul. And that's one of the things that we have to start doing. So these are a couple phrases that from Catherine Ponder that I absolutely love. And so your words are powerful and create emotions. See, it's the emotions behind what you are doing, or what you're feeling, or the words that you are saying, that start to create what's happening to you. So, here's a quote from Catherine Potter, says, your words are constantly doing one of two things: building up or tearing down, healing or destroying. And so remember all those feelings of anguish and upset and sadness and depression and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not saying don't face those things, because that you don't want to brush them under the rug, because they're like beach balls underwater. They eventually are going to pop up, and they are still running as a program within your body. So face them as they come up, and then release them, forgive yourself, forgive others, and then move on. That was my presentation 2 weeks ago on the law of forgiveness. And so, because we don't want that energy to just continue to cycle within our body. So, and then the next one here is the universal life current within you is subject to your words. Your every word is recorded in your body, so that your words become your flesh. You literally eat your words. So if you're constantly saying, I'm not good enough, I hate myself, or I hate other people, or I'm angry, or I'm upset with the world, all that kind of stuff, all that anger and everything, and that anxiety steps in and stays in your body. And that actually is scientifically proven, because you have what are called emotional peptides that are within your body. I can't remember the exact amount. It was 200 and almost 300 peptides within your body. And they've actually stated that, give an example of Johnny Cash and his wife. When she died, he died very shortly after. Why? Because the peptides within his body was all about sadness and grief and anxiety, and he was ready to go back and be with his love, the love of his life. And so literally he died of a broken heart, sadness. And so those are some things that, we really have to think about. So, to maintain a healthy life, one of the things we do is we forgive, we release, and these are things so that we can start saying yes to our life, and we don't have to have those negative, hurtful thoughts going on in our body anymore. So to affirm is to declare positively, assert, and to be true. So affirmations, what are they? What are they? They are to affirm to be true. So if you remember what I was saying earlier, I was talking about um, how we say no, and we say no to those things or those energies that we no longer serve us. So, and then when we affirm as if it's already here. So I want to be able to start traveling. I want to start being able to have the life I want and be able to get out there. One of the things that I feel that my soul is to go and raise the frequency in different areas in the planet. And so that's one of the things that I say. I affirm that I am now living in my soul's plan. I affirm that I am now living in my divine plan. And it's happening right now. And so remember, to affirm is to declare positively or assert to be true. So now your energy knows that this is true, and we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. And that's very, very interesting, something we have to start thinking about. So even when the physical evidence seems to be the opposite, when you affirm, then you start bringing your thoughts, emotions, body, and universe into action, and all with the correct direction from you. Now, some people will say with attraction, law of attraction, all that kind of stuff, well, you still have to act on it. It's not just magical. Well, duh. Of course you have to act on things. And that's one of the things I thought was funny. I was in a summit a few months ago, and Joe Vitale was actually speaking at it, and he was in the movie The Secret. And he says in the movie, you have to do the work. And everybody just assumed that was about magically creating. And he's like, but you can't pack all that stuff in an hour and some hour and some minute movie. And that's the problem, is everybody thought it was about material stuff and just manifesting material stuff. I'm talking about manifesting your soul purpose, your soul plan, your divine plan, and coming into alignment with that. And so, Linda, thank you so much. So, I still say the intention you gave me every day. My will and divine will are one. I am connected to the abundant flow of the universe. I easily manifest my dreams. Absolutely. I always love that one. It's always such a powerful statement because we're affirming exactly who and what we want and what we are, and we're doing it in our divine plan. So declare what and who you are in your vision of the future. So visualize the world you want. I want you to just take a second right now, close your eyes, and I want you to visualize the world that you want, where you want your life to be. Take a deep breath in and exhale out and just see it. And then what I want you to do is be mindful of your thoughts and your feelings around your visual. So none of that, well, this will be hard, or, I could do this, or I have to wait for this. Let's cancel, release all those thoughts as you're starting to do this manifestation and looking at this. And so I want you to just start breathing and then clearing your mind. And then I want you to say yes, yes, yes to that life that you want. And then you want to say, make it easy and that are better in my divine plan. And what you're saying now is you're saying yes to that. And you're also saying, I want to be in alignment with my divine plan. And trust me, guys, your divine plan is not about fire and brimstone. Maybe there's some things that we have to work on, and that'll work you through that. Trust me, that's there's another natural law for that. But what it is going to take you on that soul journey so you can clear all that so that you can have exactly what you're looking for. So, and then you declare for clarity. And that's one thing, is you want to make sure that you declare for clarity. So state in your meditation, I say yes to my divine plan, and I declare clarity on the highest and best opportunities with divine discernment. Divine discernment. That's one of the things that what you want to ask for. And this is declaring that you want divine wisdom given so that you know the highest and best times to say yes, and to know when to say no. So to say no to the things that no longer serve you and release them, and then to say yes to the divine plan as the opportunities drop in your lap. And that's one of the things that so you ask for divine wisdom, for clarity, and those things will come to you, and they will be there for you when you need them. So the other thing, this is what I've been thinking about a lot over the last year, is how many times a day do you say no? think about how many times a day do you criticize yourself and others, and how many times a day do you make judgments of yourself and others, and how many times a day do you say no to yourself and deny yourself? The best of the best still do this, by the way, and because I've talked to many spiritual teachers, and we're humans too. So it's a constant practice, and that's the thing we have to do, is we have to constantly practice, and it's okay to not get this right all the time. And so say no to all this energy and effort, and now start saying yes to the things that make you smile and make your heart sing. My friend Eric Rains, basically what he does is he smiles, and then he brings that energy of joy in and allows that to fill throughout his body, and then he starts his manifestations, or his manifestation and intentions. And I just thought that that was really powerful to do. So that kind of wraps up for tonight. A couple things I want to make announcements. I have my friend Debbie Roach that's coming on next. Excuse me, I'm just going to switch here. She is coming on this Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about her book, The Joy Matrix, and we'll be on at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And I will be getting a 10 o'clock Eastern Time on Wednesday on my YouTube channel. So some of you, if you're watching on Facebook right now, it'll be on my YouTube channel. And you can find that channel at Storytelling Alchemist if you're not already, or storytellingalchemist.com if you're already not a subscriber. Also, there is, like I mentioned, I'm going to be speaking at a healers gathering in North Carolina. I believe I have to look up the dates, but it's on my website, storytellingalchemist.com. And if you would like to go there, my friend and teacher Virginia Drake and I are going to be speaking there. And then look for information about Belize that's going to be happening in November. So much love, everybody. And also spiritheartcruise.com, which will be in my 48th birthday next year. So everybody, much love. And we will talk soon. And I'll be on next week at 9 o'clock Eastern as well. Bye-bye.